What's up, bitches? How you doing? I know it's been a couple months since I did one of these videos, but, you know, I wanted to take some time off, spend some time with family, friends, over the holidays, all that jazz, and, you know, I wanted to think about what direction I was taking this blog, maybe try and be a little nicer, and not curse so much, and this and that, and then I thought, fuck that, man, that ain't me. What the fuck? Alright, so now we're back. I'm gonna bitch, complain, moan, and groan. You ready? Let's get started. What is my problem this time around? I'll tell you. There's a bunch of pictures that I'm seeing being posted on various ghost hunting websites and Facebook pages that all have to do with one photography technique. Now, before I tell you what that is, let me tell you what I'm seeing. Okay? Mostly there's two types of pictures. One deals with mostly shadow people or apparitions. Okay, and it's basically like you're looking down a hallway and you see this transparent figure. You might see the body and no head. You might see the body and head, but the arms and legs are kind of blurry and they disappear into nothing. Okay, usually it's a very dark room. Okay, and then the other type is now these energy things. Now, different websites are calling them different things. We have rods, we have ribbons, we have figures, energy manifestations, whatever. It all has to do with energy. And the best way I can do to describe these things are like when you watch Ghostbusters, okay? And they take the proton packs and they start throwing them. The beams that come out of the proton packs, the colorful, like bright lights, the lines of light that come out, that's what I'm seeing. Alright, and sometimes it's just squiggly lines on the picture. Sometimes it goes across the entire image, and it's real bright. Sometimes it's not so bright, but it's still there. Now, what is it that these pictures have in common? Well, I mentioned before that it was one photography technique, and this is what it is. A long exposure. Okay? What's a long exposure? I'm going to tell you. Okay? A long exposure is basically, and this is the most simplified freaking way I can explain it to you people. It's a long picture. Okay? Your camera takes a long picture. Instead of going click, click, and taking a nice sharp picture where everything's nice and bright and in focus, this takes a long picture going click, click. Okay? Which means the shutter opens, light's coming in, and then after a while, a couple seconds, it closes, stops getting light, okay? And then the picture's over. The big problem, the issue that I see is that the majority of the ghost hunters that are posting these pictures have no fucking clue how to work their camera. None. None. Why? Because they don't know what a long exposure is. And some of them that do, this really gets me, some of them that do won't even admit that, yes, they took a long exposure picture. Okay. Alright, what I want to do is give you a real quick demonstration, alright? A visual audio aid, if you will, on the difference between a normal picture, quote, quote, and a long exposure. Okay, here we go. Grabbing the camera. Most of you guys don't use SLR cameras. Use the compact cameras, which is fine, but there's always a delay when you push the button and it takes a picture, and sometimes it doesn't make the whole the shutter sound, okay, because it's a digital shutter, so it has to make a sound effect. Anyway, here we go. All right, I gotta set it to auto. We're gonna take a quick picture here. You ready? Listen for the click. Okay, that was really quick. All right, it was a click, click, done, open and closed. Took a 1/60th of a second frame. All right, now we're going to switch it over to shutter mode, and I'm going to take a picture again. This time, listen for the clicks. There's definitely going to be a pause. Ready? Here we go. 1, wait for it, and 2. Okay, so that's a long exposure. The entire time between those clicks, which is 4 seconds. That's what I have it set for. 4 seconds. Guess what? It's collecting light, i.e. taking a picture the entire frickin' 4 fucking seconds. Okay? Okay, so if I'm taking a picture like this, or, you know what, let me do it like the ghost hunters. If I'm taking a picture like this because, you know, they want to look at the LCD screen while they're doing it, and they take a picture. Here we go. And I gotta turn it on first. Okay. I'm like, oh wow, I see a ghost maybe. Alright, let's take a picture. Alright, let's see what we got. It's not coming up yet. Oh, it clicked. Oh, I don't know what that is. Okay. And we'll look at the picture. That's something that I've seen when I'm out with these teams. When I go to like these open ghost hunts and pay to go and be taught ghost hunting 101 by these guys. They take these pictures because they have it on like a nighttime setting or something that makes the camera take a long exposure. And they're starting a picture here, and they bring it down here. The entire time that camera is taking a picture, it's collecting light from everywhere. From here, the scene that you originally want, all the way, everything that's in front of me here, all the way down. And you get this really screwed up picture. I'll show you. Alright, so what's causing these ghost hunters to do this? Why are they taking long exposures and then presenting the false evidence, because that's what the fuck it is, false evidence as ghosts or other things? The problem is, and I really believe this, is that most of them have no fucking clue what they're doing. None. None at all. And that's nobody's fault but their own. Why? Because people get cameras, they take them out of the box, they're a ghost hunter because they're self-proclaimed, and they think, hey, you know what? I'm a ghost hunter, I know how to use a camera. All you do is push the button on top. And wherever I want to take a picture, just push it, boom, 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 boom. Yay! Take pictures, yay! No! I mean, well, basically that's what you do, but no, there's a lot more to it, okay? I'm getting off track here. Let's go back. There's 2 issues that happen. There's 2 common problems, mistakes that ghost hunters make, okay? The one mistake is that they turn the flash off. I don't know why they fucking do this. I really don't. I mean, you're in a dark place, you're like a basement or some kind of historic site that has no electricity or some shit like that. Why the fuck would you turn the flash off? I don't get it. But the issue with that is, when you turn the flash off, the camera automatically wants to take a long exposure. Why? Because, in some cases, the camera's smarter than you are. Because it knows. It's looking around and going, hey, dumbass, we need more fucking light. So it turns on a long exposure. It says, hey, instead of taking 1/60th of a second of time to make a photograph, we're going to keep it open for like 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds, maybe more, to collect all that light in from the whole area to make a cool image. And for some reason, ghost hunters keep doing this. They turn the flash off. So you're basically screwing yourself. You really are. Don't turn the flash off, because when you do, yeah, you get the long exposure. And they're taking it down these long, dark hallways and shit like that. here's something. You take it down a hallway where, say, all right, there's a doorway behind me. Okay, now say this room is dark, and way down the hallway, say you're, I don't know, you're in some psychiatric. What the fuck am I saying? I can't even talk. Psychiatric hospital. Okay, you're in a psychiatric hospital that used to be like tuberculosis or something, and because, you know, there's a whole bunch of people that died there, it must be haunted. So you're there investigating or staking out, because ghost hunters really don't investigate. Anyway, all right, so you're looking down this hallway, and one of your team members is down that hallway. All right, say around here. You know, they're standing here. Okay, they're walking down. They have their EMF meter. Let me get my EMF meter. Hold on. All right, now I got my trusty EMF meter that I got at Walmart. Okay, so I'm going down like this. I'm actually walking down. Stop looking at my ass. You're going down like this, and your buddy that's way down the hallway decides, hey, I'm going to take a picture. Gets his camera, lines it up, takes a picture. Ready? Now your buddy down the hall he's walking down, and he decides, when you're still taking a picture, that he wants to go off. Boom. He walks out of frame. Ooh. Okay. And now you just stopped taking a picture. He already walked off, though. What happens there? What happens there? Because you didn't use the flash. Even if you used the flash, that gets a little complicated. But because you took that without a flash, okay, what did you do? One, you automatically extended the shutter speed, which made a long exposure, okay? And two, the problem is, it was like 4 or 5, it was about 6 seconds that the camera was open, okay? And in that time, your buddy down the hall was in front of it and then moved off and got out of frame. The camera was still taking pictures, though. And the ambient light way down the other end of the hallway was burning onto the image. What's the final product? What you're going to have is a silhouette of a figure, because you didn't use a flash, so you're not going to illuminate him. He's not going to be seen from your end. So it's going to be a silhouette. But because he moved out of the way and you let ambient light from down the hall come down into the camera, you're going to have a transparent silhouette, okay, which is your shadow person. And I would venture to say, I would put money on this. I would bet some of my Star Wars stuff that 95 to 99% of all your shadow people photographs out there are fucking long exposures. That's how they're made. Get used to it. Number two, the second type of photograph that's coming out of these are these energy things. And I say things because they're rods and ribbons and all this kind of bullshit. Anything that looks a little lighted up, and, you know, something from Star Trek, The Next Generation, or some shit like that, then they call it an energy thingamajig, okay? And here's an example. Okay, now what happens is we already did the scenario with the hallway, okay, and the ambient light down at the end of the hallway, coming through the image and making a shadow person and blah 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 blah. Yeah. If you're taking a picture, say with the flash on, okay, because this is usually what happens. You have the flash on. People put the camera into a nighttime mode, because why? Oh, why? Because the only part of the fucking manual that they read about their camera is saying, hey, in nighttime mode, it's good for taking pictures in low light situations. So when you find yourself in a so-called haunted restaurant or bar, what better place than to put your camera on nighttime feature? Well, here's the issue. It puts your camera into a long exposure mode. Okay? So it's going to collect as much light as possible. Any light sources that are in the scene are going to they're going to trace lines because of movement. And this is something I have to say, and I think I've said this before, but I can't say it enough, and I can't say it with enough emotion for you fuckers to do it. Okay? When you read your manual, any manual, like, I'm seriously, any fucking manual that comes with a camera that has the ability to do a long exposure, it will tell you if you put it in nighttime mode or night scene or twilight, stupid fucking movies, or any scene, any mode that deals with nighttime photography or low light photography, it's going to tell you in print, black and white, all that shit, to use a tripod or some other stable surface to keep your camera from moving. Okay? Why? Because during long exposures, you have this thing called camera shake. When you hold a camera, you are not holding it steady. I don't care how good you think you are, you're not holding it steady. And the little movements, and you can see it. Look at the reflection in the lens, okay? Do you see it jiggling back and forth? It's moving back and forth, and I'm trying to hold it steady. Not happening, okay? If you have a little light source that's in your dark basement, okay, it's going to trace lines just like these lights are moving around. It's going to do the same thing on your image. You're going to have squiggly lines of light. It's a technique that photographers use called light painting. And I actually use it a lot to make special effects because it's fucking cool. Okay? Basically what you do is you do a long exposure and use a flashlight, and you draw. And you can write out words in midair and trace out objects. It's pretty cool. But it's a technique that we use on purpose as photographers. Ghost hunters are using it by accident, okay, and calling them ghosts. Alright, so let's put ourselves in this scenario. Let's put ourselves in the environment of a ghost hunter, okay? Hold on a second. Okay, here we are in the dark. We're in a dark room, and I have my trusty EMF meter. Let's turn it on. There's the lights. I suggest that when you ghost hunt, you don't use one that's strapped to a quarter stick of dynamite. Yeah, that's the boomstick. Anyway, so you see that little light, that LED? If my camera stops going out of focus? Alright. Now, if that, I don't know why I'm whispering. Anyway, when the EMF meters or any other your other bullshit devices like your millimeters or your K2s or your shack hack bullshit devices or anything like that you put out in the scene because you want to take pictures of it because, you know, if the lights blink, it must be a ghost. So you put it out, all right? And let's see. I'm going to put it out. I'm going to put it on the bookshelf here. Okay, so the EMF meter is on the bookcase, all right, right up there. Okay, and that's pretty much simulating my scene. Okay, now if I take my camera and I say, all right, I want to take a picture, and it's going to with the flash, but it's going to be at long exposure because I put this in night scene mode. Okay, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to take a picture. Let's line it up. Now it's still taking a picture. All right. Now I moved it a little bit just to make it dramatic, so you can see. But I'm going to show you. This is the result of the picture. Now the green line that you see, that looks like an energy ribbon, is nothing more than the LED light that's on the EMF meter. That's it. And this is a telltale sign for me and any photographer that sees it, that says, okay, I know what this is. This is a long exposure. But I'm seeing this. I'm seeing pictures like this out there on websites with these light streaks coming from all these kind of instruments or any kind of LEDs, or it doesn't have to be an LED. When I say light source, it could be a light bulb, it could be a neon light, it could be LEDs on any little instruments, it could be reflected light, like you see behind me. The commas on the door. Let's see, right there. The Superman tin. Even right above my head. Let's see, right here, reflected light. if that's in the scene, everything could be dark, but because maybe like a light all the way down the hallway is shining and reflecting off of a surface down here, that will be a light source, and that could cause a light streak, just like the green light you saw in that photo. So what's the issue? What's the bottom line? The bottom line is that, dear ghost hunters, learn how to fucking use your camera. That's it, okay? Because these are simple things. Turning off the flash, stupid, okay? Putting it on night scene, which, you know what? Common sense would tell you, like, oh, it's night scene, I'm in the dark, it'll take a better picture. I understand that, but if you read your manual, which you really should, because, you know, it tells you how to work your camera, you would understand what's going on. And you would understand that it's a bad idea, okay? Any long exposures during your little ghost hunting stakeouts is a bad idea because it's going to create effects. You're creating false positive images. And what's worse is that you're going back to homeowners, you're going back to business owners, and you're presenting evidence that is false. It's bad evidence. It's not evidence because it's bad. And you're causing more harm than good. You're not helping anybody. You're causing fear. I mean, if you go into a homeowner and say, hey, you know, we caught these strange lines of light all over the place. There's definitely energy beings here. And one group is actually investigating a place, and they have these little blotches of light, which is from a long exposure. But they're saying that they're light figures, they're energy figures in there. And what the hell is that? You know, now you're telling the owner that the place is haunted, which it's not. It's not haunted. You just don't know what you're talking about. I want to close out this episode with just a thought, a tip for ghost hunters and for UFO hunters or any other hunters, like Bigfoot hunters and stuff like that are using photography and to develop evidence. Don't get pissed off. Don't get fucking pissed off because basically you don't know what you're doing. Okay? If you're not going to take the time to learn from photographers or photography classes or even books on photography that are usually really informative if you just pick them up. Honestly, I have a few. Yeah, I have a few. And yes, I've read them. And they're really good. They tell you how to work your camera. It's amazing. Wow. Just because you're a ghost hunter, because you say you are, or a paranormal investigator, because you say you are, or you took some bullshit course that certified you. Bullshit. It doesn't mean you're a photographer, okay? Go consult one, all right? I do photography. I don't have a degree in it, but I do it. And I also experiment. I do special effects photography because I experiment. I learn how to do it. I ask people. I consult with other photographers. Friends of mine, Bobby Tingle, awesome guy. Robin Montella, awesome girl. Paul Michael Caine, phenomenally awesome photographer and knows a lot of shit. I mean, he does it for a living. I ask him questions and get his opinion on things. Of course, that motherfucker always sends the people that are pissed off to me. I'll get you for that. The bottom line is, don't think that you can analyze photographs just because you're a ghost hunter and you run a team or are a part of a team. Okay? Learn photography first. These long exposures, I'm telling you, they're giving orbs, those motherfucking orbs, a run for their money. Because I'm seeing less and less of orbs, and I'm seeing more and more of these long exposure photographs showing up on websites being presented as evidence. It's bullshit. It's false positive. It's crap. Learn how to do photography, okay? Well, even if it's not okay, learn your fucking photography. God damn, man. That pisses me off. It really does. To see just anybody deciding like, oh, you know what? This photograph is energy this and energy that, or this is a shadow person, when you have no fucking clue what you're talking about. Damn. You know what? In the end, don't pout. Don't get pissed off. If you're willing to learn, people like me and the other guys I mentioned, and a ton more of other guys and girls that I know, are more than happy to explain how these things work, how long exposures work, how other camera effects work. We're more than happy to do it. But you have to be open to it. Alright? Because we tell you that your photographs aren't what you think they are, don't get pissed off because now we debunked your best evidence and you're going to go pout in the corner. Just learn, dude. Just fucking learn. Alright. I think that's enough bitching for today. Alright, that wraps it up for this episode. If you have any comments, you want to talk about this, you want to debate this, there is plenty of space below. Fill it out. If I catch it, I'll respond. If not, then, I don't know. Find me on Facebook. You can find me there at Kenny Biddle Awesome. That's AWSM. If you have any complaints or you want to hurl some insults at me, if you want to beat me up, please contact Lou Castile in California. He is my West Coast correspondent. I stole that from Strange Frequencies, I did. Anyway, be careful though. He's Mexican. He's really mean. Apparently he's getting a lightsaber soon, so... I hope you enjoyed it. If you have topics you want to discuss, you want to hear me talk about, feel free to contact me, let me know. If you have a t-shirt from a decent organization, not somebody that I bitch about all the time, but a decent organization, and you want to see me wear it, I'll take it. I take free t-shirts because I'm cheap like that, and I like t-shirts. So, contact me so you can send me one. All right?